Mr. Speaker, when the NDP were first elected in 1999, Manitoba's manufacturing sales were $10.9 billion that year. That was 176% ahead of Saskatchewan at $6.2 billion. Today, due to slow growth, Manitoba's manufacturing sales have fallen behind Saskatchewan, as is visible in this graph I table. How could the NDP have so mismanaged our fiscal situation that Manitoba's stronghold on the manufacturing economy has slipped away? Manitobans can understand falling behind Saskatchewan on oil and potash, but manufacturing and its jobs, that's been our strength. Why has the NDP done so poorly?
Mr. Speaker, I thank the member for River Heights for the question. I'm sure he's aware of the fact that the latest report from Export Development Canada indicates that in 2013, Manitoba's exports increased by 10.7%. 10.7%. More than double national growth of 4%. They are also predicting for 2014 that Manitoba will see another 10% increase in exports from Manitoba. So this will lead the nation, Mr. Speaker. We will see record exports coming out of the province of Manitoba. Manufacturing is central to that, Mr. Speaker. We recently just made an announcement with E.H. Price, another 175 jobs in Manitoba, Mr. Speaker. We've been to New Flyer. We're very supportive of their new initiatives, which are exporting more buses. They have the best electric bus in North America, Mr. Speaker. Recently, the Transit Authority for New York just bought 295 electric buses for Manitoba. Those are exports, Mr. Speaker.
Excuses. Mr. Speaker, if this NDP government had managed our economy well over the last 15 years, for example, by removing the payroll tax, it's likely our manufacturing sales would have grown equivalent to Saskatchewan and reached today $27.6 billion in sales, $12 billion more than Manitoba sells today. This province would have had more than enough new income to replace the payroll tax, and we'd have a lot more people employed here. NDP mismanagement is squashing our economy instead of freeing it to go. Will the Premier stop squashing the growth of employment in our manufacturing sector and remove the archaic and economically obstructive payroll tax now?
Mr. Speaker, I refer the member again to the budget papers where it shows that Winnipeg and Brandon, for cities of comparable size, are #1 in the nation for the cost of doing business when you're a manufacturer, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, the member needs to know that manufacturing employment has increased in Manitoba by 3.23%. For the rest of the country, Mr. Speaker, manufacturing employment has gone down 1.98%. We're going up, Mr. Speaker. More jobs, more good jobs for Manitobans, a more competitive regime than anywhere else in the country. Those jobs will stay in Manitoba. Manitobans will get good training for those jobs. I'm talking about aerospace. I'm talking about farm equipment manufacturing. I'm talking about value-added food manufacturing. I'm talking about new media, Mr. Speaker, and films. All of those things are strong industries in Manitoba, and we'll keep them that way.
Speaker, time and time again, this NDP government has made bad decision after bad decision with respect to Manitoba's economy. Every month for the last 8 months, there have been fewer people employed than in the same month a year earlier in Manitoba, while Saskatchewan has seen employment growth in comparison. As this graph I table shows, the result of the NDP's poor expenditure management, poor taxation planning, and poor fiscal management is that manufacturing in our province is growing much slower and we have fewer jobs. Why has this NDP government stifled economic growth by allowing growth in manufacturing to stall and to take Manitoba jobs with it?
Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the R&D, the Research and Development Tax Credit in Manitoba, 20% with refundability, better than any other province in the country, Mr. Speaker. better in Manitoba, good for manufacturers. That's why manufacturers are providing and creating good, high-quality jobs in Manitoba. Designers, engineers, CI, information technology specialists, all those people are doing their work in Manitoba. Capital tax, completely eliminated in Manitoba, Mr. Speaker. Manufacturing investment tax credit, just renewed in the budget, Mr. Speaker. All of these opportunities create Manitoba as one of the most affordable cities, Winnipeg and Brandon, most affordable places in the country for manufacturing. We're seeing the employment grow while it's shrinking in the rest of the country. Will the member opposite acknowledge that Winnipeg is the manufacturing hub of Western Canada and will continue to be so, Mr. Speaker?